Hello, once again. I'm so sorry I couldn't be there today, but I know y'all love my videos, so let's go ahead and get started. So today we're going to do conditional statements. So conditional statement says that it is a statement that can be written in if and then form. So the symbolic form is actually written like this: P, arrow, Q. And you read that as if P, then Q. Or you could say P implies Q. And so the hypothesis, it says hypothesis, is the phrase immediately following the word if. The conclusion is the phrase immediately following the word then. So everything after if is a hypothesis, everything after then is the conclusion. In this symbolic form here, that's pretty important. So make sure that whenever you see this, read it as if P, then Q. Let's look at some examples. So example number one, we are saying identify the hypothesis and conclusion of the following conditional statements. So I know that my two key words are if and then. So I'm always gonna kind of highlight. I'm gonna say all my ifs. Then I'm going to do all my thens in another color. You can grab markers from the back table there in the back. It's in the blue box. Or you can just box them on your own paper if you'd like. So I know everything that comes after if is a hypothesis. Everything that comes after then is a conclusion. So I'm going to write everything after if for my hypothesis, then everything after then is a conclusion. So everything after if, hypothesis. Everything after then is conclusion. Everything before if is after if is hypothesis. Everything after then is a conclusion. So let's check it out. Number one says, if you live in Nashville, then you live in Tennessee. So I know to identify the hypothesis, everything after if. So my hypothesis here is that you live in Nashville. Then I'm looking to identify my conclusion. So I look at everything after then. I see then here. So my conclusion is that you live in Tennessee. Let's look at number two. Number two says, if the sum of the measures of two angles is 90 degrees, then they are complementary angles. Looking to identify my hypothesis, so everything after if. So my hypothesis is that the sum of the measures of two angles is 90. Doesn't fit, make it fit on your paper. Then I have to identify the conclusion, so it's everything after then. Let's look at number three. I hope you guys are getting the point by now, but everything after if is your hypothesis. So here, guess what it is? A quadrilateral. I always have a hard time saying that word. Quadrilateral is a square. That's my hypothesis. That's what I think it is. Then my conclusion is everything after then. So the conclusion is that it has four right angles. Let's go ahead and look at the rest of these. So number 4 says that you have to write the following statements in if and then form. So you have to identify the the hypothesis and the conclusion, and you have to come up with your own statement, your own conditional statement. So number 4 says an obtuse angle has a measure greater than 90. So I have to change this so it has the words if and then. So I'm going to say if an angle is obtuse, then it has a measure greater than 90. It's actually 90 degrees. So see what I did there? It says an obtuse angle has a measure greater than 90. If an angle is obtuse, then it has a measure greater than 90 degrees. Let's try another one. Let's look at number 5. Number 5 says all numbers divisible by 4 are also divisible by 2. So I'm going to cut it into hypothesis and conclusion. So my hypothesis would be if a number is divisible by 4, that is not by. I was already moving on. Then it is divisible by 2. I want you guys to try number 6, number 7, and number 8 on your own. When we are done, actually the back of this paper is a completely different video. So when you're done with this, you can definitely start. If you're not done with it by the time class ends, which you should be, but if you're not, then go ahead and start the second video of the next class time. Alright, but go get those tally marks. And I'll see you in the next video.